Please turn on your cameras, all of you. Welcome back to Political Science class, session number 1 of the week. Okay. And the last session, we had seen the importance of democracy. Okay. And why democracy is accepted by a number of people. Okay. We know that democracy is not the finest form of the government. But comparing with other type of governments, we can say that it is good. Democracy is good. Okay. So tell me, Nas Parveen, what are the points that we are basically using to assess democracy? The points that what we are using to assess democracy. Please tell me. Nas Parveen, can you hear me? The points that already we studied, the points that what we're basically using to assess democracy. What type of government is that? Nas, an idea? Connection error, I think. Bhadra Pramod? Bhadra Pramod.
Promotes equality among
Okay,
citizens.
very good. Yeah. Promote equality among the citizen.
Enhances the dignity of the individual.
Enhance the dignity of the individual. Okay, good.
Improves the quality of decision making.
Improve the quality of decision making, correct.
Provides a method to resolve conflicts.
Provides a method to resolve conflicts. Good.
Allow room to correct mistakes.
Very good. Allow rooms to correct mistakes. Okay. So that's good. So these are the basic points that basically we are using to assess democracy, right? Assess democracy. Okay. Now, today we are going for a small video presentation. Please observe it clearly. The things that what we discussed earlier, almost all the things are included in that particular video. Okay. Clear or not? So please observe it clearly. And if you want to write the notes from that, inform me. I will stop that. Okay. I'll post the, what you can say, the video, and you can write from that. Okay. So moving forward. Yes or no? Any doubts are there? So listen, I can say only Anmeri, Prajot Krishna, Bhadra Pramod, Arjun, okay, Adidev, Nirupam and Hengsti. And 22 students are here. Okay, nearly 7-8 cameras are on. All other cameras are either off or they are facing some network issue. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, please turn on your cameras. If you're facing any problem related with the connection, please inform me. Or else please turn on the cameras, please. Okay, Afsana, Haya Abid, Sainaba, Hadedi, Vishnupriya, Rosadi, Rifa Abdul Kalam. Okay, so like that, various students are there. Okay, almost all the students regularly they are turning on the camera. Some students are there, they are not at all not interested to turn on the camera. Okay, some are occasionally will turn on the camera. Okay, like that, various types of people. Anyway, okay, please turn on the cameras, all of you. Okay, Vishnupriya, I got the message. Okay, here, come back to the textbook. Okay, you can see here the most important aspect of a democratical kind of government. It is an accountable government. It's a responsive government, and it's a legitimate government. What is that? It is accountable, responsive, and legitimate. These three words are very much important that connect with democracy. What are those three words? It is accountable, it is responsive, and it is legitimate. Okay, accountable, responsive, and legitimate. Okay, now write down all of you. Democracy produces accountable 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 accountable, comma, responsive,
Sir, can you repeat?
repeating, Democracy produces accountable, comma, responsive, accountable, comma, responsive, and legitimate governments, and legitimate governments, and legitimate government. Okay, that's the heading. Just write down. People have the right to choose their rulers. People have the right to choose their rulers. People have the right to choose their rulers. And they have control over their rulers. And they have control over their rulers. Okay. And they have control over their rulers. Full stop. Citizens can participate in decision making. Citizens can participate in decision making. Citizens can participate in decision making. Full stop. Thus, democracy produces a government. Thus, democracy produces a government Thus, democracy produces a government that is accountable to the citizens. That is accountable to the citizens. Okay, so now you got what you mean by the term accountability. Clear. So what is that? What is that? John Samuel, please read that. What is this accountability? John Samuel.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please read that answer.
Right, not here.
Please read that answer that you wrote now. Afsana. Haya Abid. Sainaba. Surya. Savio Hendricks.
Yes, sir.
Please read that.
Sir, that people have right to choose that, no?
That one.
People have right to choose the rulers and they have control over the rulers. Citizens can participate in the decision making.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, correct.
Thus, democracy produces a generous that in
Democracy produces a what?
government
Okay.
that is accountable to the citizen.
Okay, fine. And write down, it is accountable to the citizens and responsive to the needs and responsive to the needs and responsive to the needs and expectations of the citizens. Needs and expectations of the citizens. Okay, so we got two words here. What is accountability and what is responsive? Okay, so the governments, democratic governments are always responsive to the needs and expectations of the citizens of the country. Okay, and the governments are always accountable, which means what is accountability? Huh? People have the right to choose the rulers, okay, and the rulers are accountable to the citizens. They have to give the answers to the citizens for the questions there. Okay, democracy ensures that, next paragraph, democracy ensures that, democracy ensures that decision making is based on, decision making is based on decision making is based on norms and procedures. Norms and procedures.
Can you tell the spelling?
NORMS, 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 norms. And procedures, PROCEDURES, procedures. Norms and procedures. Full stop. So, a citizen who wants to know, so a citizen who wants to know, so a citizen who wants to know if a decision, if a decision was taken through, decision was taken through the correct procedures, the correct procedures, 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 can find out this information, can find out this information. Citizens can take part, citizens can take part in decision making. Citizens can take part in decision making whenever they want, whenever they want, whenever they want. Next para. A democratic government is people's own government. A democratic government is people's own government. People wish to be ruled by, people wish to be ruled by representatives elected by them. Representatives elected by them. Okay, I already told you there are three different outcomes are there for democracy. Any idea what are they? What are they? What are the three different outcomes? Anybody?
Sir, can you repeat the last point again?
Last point, write down. A democratic government is the people's own government. People wish to be ruled by representatives elected by them. People wish to be ruled by representatives elected by them. Elected by them. Okay, now tell me what are the three different outcomes of democracy? What are the classification?
Political outcomes.
social,
Yeah.
economic.
Correct. Political outcomes of the democracy, social outcomes of the democracy, and economic outcomes of the democracy. Okay, so already we know that democracy is comparatively a good form of government, but it is not the finest form of government. Okay, so democracy can create some circumstances or situations for the people to lead a dignified life in the society. Okay, to lead a respectful life in the society. Okay, that can create only circumstances, but not provide anything. Okay, clear or not? Only can create some circumstances. Okay. Then other forms of the government, they are also doing something to achieve these economic, political, and social developments, but not like democracy, not like a democracy. Okay. In democracy, we know that it will take some time to take decisions because deliberations, I mean, negotiations and discussions are necessary in democracy before taking a decision. Okay, so a decision in a democracy is considering as it is effective and it will accept by almost all the different groups of people in the society. Okay, but in a monarchy and a dictatorship, the things are different. Things are different. Clear. So they are able to take decisions faster than a democracy, but people may not accept it. Clear or not? People may not accept such rules and regulations that made by a monarch or a dictator So problems will be there. Okay, clear. Understand, this is a basic difference between democracy and other forms of government. So we know that the different ways to assess democracy already we discussed that from the textbook. You can see here. Okay, these points. It promotes equality among the citizens. It enhances the dignity of the individual, improve the quality of the decision making. Okay, provides a method to resolve conflicts and allows rooms to correct mistakes. Okay, this is the basic ideas that related with or methods that we are using to assess democracy's outcome. Democracy's outcome. Is that clear for you? Hope this idea is perfectly clear for you people, right? Outcomes of democracy, in which the method that what we are using to assess democracy. Next one, now we know that what is this accountable government and what is this responsive government, and we have to discuss about the legitimate government, legitimacy. Okay, so we are going to read this paragraph here. There are some things that democracy must provide. In a democracy, we are most concerned with ensuring that people will have the right to choose their rulers and people will have control the rulers whenever possible and necessary. Citizens should be able to participate in the decision making that affects them all. Therefore, the most basic outcome of democracy should be that it produces a government that is accountable to the citizen and responsive to the needs and expectations of the citizens there. Okay, so in a democracy, it is the citizens, those who are basically electing their representatives, then the elected representatives are making the government. So it is people only behind the formation of the governments. Okay, the people are able to control the representatives. Clear? Sometimes. Okay, and the same time we can say that people are able to participate in the decision making. So that doesn't mean each and every individual, nearly 139 crore people are there in the country. All these people are going to the parliament and participate in the parliament meeting or legislative council meeting or something like that. Clear or not? Only our representatives. But in a direct democracy, we are able to experience such kind of participation also. So can we give some example for direct democracy in India? The people directly participating in the decision making and giving recommendations or making recommendations to the government. Okay, any idea?
Election.
Elections, okay, that is we are choosing the representatives. After election, the elected representatives will make the government, right or not? Okay,
State
yes or
assembly.
no? State assembly also we are unable to participate directly, right? No individual is able to go to, yeah, Lolita send an answer, correct answer. I am giving chances to others also. Please think and tell me. Think and tell me. Direct democracy. We are directly able to participate in the decision making. We are able to give suggestions. Come on. Vishnu Priya's answer also correct only. Okay. An idea? Okay, so two answers I got here. These are those two answers are correct. Okay, this Gram Sabha gram panchayats, right? Okay, so it is local self-government, a kind of direct democracy we are practicing, a kind of a direct democracy we are practicing, right or not? Where the Gram Sabha means a group of all eligible voters in that particular village. So they have the power and they can easily suggest something for the development of their locality, because that people know what kind of development basically they need in their locality. Clear or not? Yes or no? So directly they are able to participate. Okay. And what we discussed earlier here, in a democracy, it is accountable. Democracy is accountable because people, they are electing their representatives. Okay. The representatives are answerable to the people or the voters. Okay, even though they are the ministers, MLAs, or MPs, they are answerable to the questions of the people. So, it is the very important aspect of democracy. And at the same time, it is the responsibility of the government to meet the expectations. So, people, they are expecting numerous things from the government, clear or not? Number of things the people want there. So, it is the responsibility of the government to meet the expectations of the government. Okay, expectations of the government. Clear? Clear or not? So that's what we discussed about the two things here. What is accountability and what is this responsive government? A responsive government. Okay, you wrote already. Okay, before we go into the question, the second para here, we face another common question: is the democratic government efficient? What is your answer? Is the democratic government is efficient? Number of cameras are off again. Tell me, the democratic governments are efficient?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ashik told it is yes, and the same time Adidev told it is no. Any other answers are there from different students, other students? Vishnupriya also saying it is no. Okay, I can agree with you. Okay, so in some sense, the democratic governments are good and it is efficient, but in some cases, it is not that efficient as we expected. Clear? Clear or not? Okay. In some ways, it is good, and the other ways, there are lots of problems are there with the democracy. Vishnu VV, please change your DP. Okay. Vishnu VV. The number of students I already told you that you are free to keep the DPs there, no problem. But it should be suitable for the culture and it should be suitable for the class decorum. Okay, everyone, please understand that. Okay, Vishnu VV, please get turn on your camera. Others also, hence Steve, Lolita, Haya, Abid, Afsana, Fia Harris, Aman Shakir, Surya, Riswan, Anjida Benni, Adi Amin. So some people, they're regularly not coming to class there. So coming to the class also, their cameras are off. Okay, like that, various problems are there. I don't know why it is. So please. Then tell me, Arjun, what is this accountable government? Arjun?
People have the right to choose their rulers and they can have control over their rulers.
Okay. So
They
people
can
will choose their,
they
they can
can
participate in the
participate
decision making. Okay, fine. Okay, so these are the some points that will do with accountability. Okay, so come back. So we got that answer. What is that? Some cases, in some cases, democratic governments are not that efficient, not that efficient. Okay, it is effective. Some people think that democracy produces less effective government. It is, of course, true that non-democratic rulers do not have bother about deliberation in assemblies or worry about majorities and public opinion. So we can say, or some people will say that democratic governments are not that efficient or not that effective. It is true, okay, because in a non-democratical country, the dictator or the monarch, he don't want to discuss with the people. He is not worried about the discussions and negotiations with the different groups of people in the country. He himself is able to take decisions. Clear or not? Okay, so there is no delay. Okay, easily they are able to take a decision. But democracy is not like that. It will take much time to take a decision. Okay, so we know that delayed justice is denied justice, right? Delayed justice is a sorry. Okay, yeah, almost. Delayed justice is a denied justice. So delay that creates lots of problem in the country. The delay. Okay, clear. Bureaucratic problem, government problem. Because of that, the activities will not move forward in a proper development. Okay. So democracy is based on the idea of deliberation and negotiation. Underline that democracy is always based on the idea of deliberation and negotiation. Discussions are necessary. Okay, bargainings are necessary. Okay, so some delay is bound to take place. Does that make democracy government inefficient? That's the question there. Okay, so this delay in taking decisions are not making democracy inefficient. Okay, so after this delay, the decisions we know that. Okay, okay, the time that what we are consuming to take the decision in democracy, it's worth. Okay, because in a democracy, they will take or the government will take the decisions only after these discussions and deliberations. So always the democracy will come forward with a good decision or a good program or a good policy. It is good for the entire population. Okay, all the people will accept it. Okay, all the people will accept such kind of rules and regulations that made by a democratic kind of government. Okay, that clear? Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are stopping up to here. Okay, I'm stopping here. Up to here we completed. So please mark that. Okay, please read it. And the same time, I would like to discuss something with you people that is related with the project. So far, I received 5 projects from your class. Okay, draft copies. Other students, I don't know what they are doing. So please make sure that you are completing the tasks on time, or else it is useless. Clear or not? Not only this one project, want to complete one more project. Clear or not? 2 are there for us. Yeah, draft in the sense what the things basically you wrote there. I don't know that. Okay, clear or not? A draft copy. Clear? Understand? After that, anyway, you will edit it, right? I mean, you will correct it. Mistakes will be there, so you want to correct it. So a draft copy is necessary to see. Okay, not only this one project, one more project is there, so we want to complete as soon as possible. Okay, so please keep that idea in your mind. You can do that. Okay, so please do. And the same time, I give you a homework for you people to write down the answers received in nearly 6 copies. I mean, 6 students they attended it. Others no answers yet. Okay, this term no answers. Only one chapter is there for the examination. It is also MCQ. I told you, but so far only 6 answer scripts I received. Okay, so anyway, please complete that task also and send